Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Think Show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called African American didn't find their way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. Who's in your community? And when I say community, remember a lot of the words that we use are compound words. There's one word that means something and another word that means something else. And community is a common word. Is one of those words, excuse me, comment. It's one of those compound words. Common is one word. Unity is the other. Common unity, community. They go together like that. That's what this one is for. So we can have some common unity. Because if you pay attention what's going on, how the people are being manipulated, how that whole program is being ran that so-called Black people, so-called African American people are nothing. The Carnival Cruise Line bit is one of them. Common unity. That's what we have to have if we're going to move forward. Common unity. When people come from Asia, come over here, they have a common unity, and it helps keeps their culture and everything about them flowing. We have to have the same thing, or everything is going to turn out a mess. So when you look at people like the Washita in the mountains of Arkansas, you look at people like the Accomack on the eastern shore of Virginia, when you look at people like the Chitimacha on the coast of Louisiana, when you look at people like the Siwila on the US Canadian border up there by Montana, when you look at these people that many of you are connected to, many of you are connected to these people. When you look at these people, they didn't have internet, they didn't have cell phone, they didn't have TV, they didn't have G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. They had common unity. What is it that we see eye to eye on and we go from there? With the Black African American, it's always the opposite. Keep that in mind when you're searching for common unity. Don't go by how the people on the cruise would act. What's something that create common unity? Because we all have it. And since we don't know who we are anymore, we don't even exercise it. Common unity. What are some of the things in common we don't have that we should have? Our diets. Don't the majority of so-called Black African American eat other people's foods? I'm not saying everybody, never the case, but the majority, I'm talking especially fast food restaurants, pizza. Don't Negroes eat pizza? Spaghetti. Common unity is what keeps the people who eat pizza. You see how they sell their culture to you? How much do they make? How much? How much do the people who create pizzas, how much money do they make off of Black African Americans by selling their pizza? Now, the question must be asked because if you have any sense, you'd have to ask yourself, how much money do you make off of them using your cornbread? When you ask the African American this question, don't look for the words. Look for that stupid ass look on their face. How is your culture always taken and sold back to you? That's why you act like you do on the cruise ship. That directly ties into that. So I gotta, somebody sent me something, and it's a curriculum. I got this from a brother named Michael Duckworth. He sends me stuff here and there, to share and common unity, something that we could use all. And we have to think about what we're getting into. So, like, we send our children to these schools, 99% of the parents don't know what the hell their children are being taught. Most of it's garbage to make your children dumb because it was there to make you dumb. And it was there to make your mother and father dumb. But still, you send your children there. Why? Again, when you ask African American, Black these questions, you don't get an answer. You get that, I don't know, look. So this right here is pretty interesting. And if you want to contact this brother, Michael Duckworth, he's on Facebook. This is who's in your community. And it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, these are things that all of us can remember. All of us can remember. So who's in your community? First, you have to identify the elders in your community. But before we do that, we have to have a consensus on what an elder is. An elder is not 50 years old. What you have one of the well, basically all the generations are totally disrespecting a phenomenon that everybody will be a part of. So when you train people to be Black, that's what they will be. They'll call themselves that. They'll do anything to be on the dark side. We have to know this. We should know it by the time we're 15, but we don't give that type of information in the community. We give Santa Claus, Rudolph, bullshit. Who are the elders in your community and are they competent? An elder's not 50 years old. An elder for me, I would say 75 at least. Who are the clan mothers in the community? Who are the clan mothers? The clan mothers look out in the yard and say, what's going to happen? This ain't going to be happening over here. We're not having strip clubs right by these schools. advertising to these schools. Everybody's not going to be at Only's fans. There's other things we could do. Those are what the clan mothers should be doing. Not out here clubbing, eating all this crap from these fast food places. The clan mother should be that, what your grandmother is to you. The men, what should the men be doing? Should the men be, and this is just an example, buying houses from other men, or should the men be working together on their land to get their land to build their own houses and community on? You ask the African American, how come the man doesn't do that? Watch the look on their face. The man should be on his land. The transportation should be taken care of, trains, whatever. How come other people come from other places and build highways on your land and you just happy to get a job? The youth. What's the job of the youth? And the youth telling you every day they have no respect for the elders. None. Why? Because some of the things I just named we haven't came through on, and we should have. But we don't, because we always cooning, making sure stuff don't happen. Being black, being what the word implies, always referring to yourself as something that you're not. So this is what I'm saying. This is a excellent curriculum point. Who's in your community? Are the people in your community, are they doing the same old stuff that gets you nowhere? Going to the club, eating, while nothing gets done. If you're going to get some common unity with some people in your community, you have to see what's going on in front of you, not what's being presented to you. You have to look up under that. You have to lift a veil on that one. What do you see going on in your community? And what are you going to do to make it work out for you and yours? You guys have a good afternoon, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.